Today we're talking about how anyone can invest in real estate regardless of age, income, or experience. So let's start with this. There are actually two different main ways to invest in real estate. The first is what I call the solo approach. It's the lone wolf. It's, I'm gonna do this all on my own. It's like, well, I live in Baton Rouge and I see properties, so I'm gonna buy these properties and I'm gonna become an investor. But understand this, buying and managing properties personally, this includes everything from finding properties and figuring out the financing, and then you got to handle the maintenance and basically managing tenants, and then you got to do the accounting, and then do your taxes, and it's a lot, but it's very doable. And by the way, this is where 90% of millionaires come from. Owning real estate. And by the way, when it comes to owning real estate on your own, you have a lot of different options. You could buy, condos or townhomes or single family homes. You might get into like the renovation space. If I'm gonna get a really big discount and I'm gonna flip the paper, I'm gonna flip the house. Or you might say, no, I want like a nice vacation rental. I wanna do Airbnb or VRBO. So you have a lot of options of what you can do. The thing is, you're really doing it all on your own. To succeed with the solo approach, you definitely have to have, I would say, a lot of time, because it can feel, depending on the strategy, like a part-time or a full-time job. You're also going to need a lot of money because it takes money to make money. And lastly, it's going to take experience. And there's a lot of entrepreneurs that want to be holders of real estate. Once they kind of get in, they find out how hard it is, then they want to get out of it and they become desperate and motivated to offload their real estate. In other words, doing real estate entirely on your own, especially as a beginner, it's usually not my favorite idea for you. Your second option is partnering with someone. This is finding a mentor or someone else that has some of the resources to kind of lighten the load and say, all right, like, what are we gonna need? Well, someone's gonna have to put in some time, someone's gonna need money, and someone's gonna need experience. And if I partner up with one or two or three other people, maybe everyone can kind of bring part of what's needed so we can work as a team to get this done. Here's the best way to think about it. You're gonna need money, expertise, and a crew. For the money, you usually need someone that can put a 20% down payment if you're gonna buy and hold the property for a long period of time, or if you're gonna flip the property, you might even need enough money to buy it cash. Number two, the expertise, right? You're gonna need someone with the knowledge and the skills that says, actually, I know how to do this, I know how to find a really good deal, and I know how to take us from A to Z through the entire process where we can actually turn a profit. And then number three, you're gonna need someone that has the crew. Who's gonna do the legwork? Who's actually gonna research the property? Who's gonna verify that it financially makes sense? Who's actually gonna make sure that the lending was in place, or that after you buy the home that it's actually getting fixed up, or that someone's even managing the crew that's fixing up the property? So you gotta have people that are gonna help you execute the entire strategy. Now, side note, I definitely have people that are like, Kris, you have the expertise, you have the crew, I got the money. Because a lot of people have money trapped in a 401k or an IRA or equity in their home or just money under the mattress, and they come to me like, Kris, will you partner with me? And the answer is yes, I do that on a regular basis. We crush it, we kill it. But that doesn't mean that anyone can necessarily do that. And today's video is how anyone can invest in real estate. So we're gonna discuss some new options. For example, what if I don't have the money to invest? What if I don't have the experience to invest? Kris, what if I don't have the crew? If you don't have any of those three things, do you still have an option? Well, the answer is yes. So let's get this straight. There are some ways of getting into real estate with little to no money. That's called creative financing. And you could do it on your own, but not anyone can do that. It actually requires quite a bit of skill to like go find a deal and someone that owns it and kind of sweet talk them into a strategy where you're not gonna give them any money. That's not something anyone can do. So those creative financing deals do exist, but they definitely require time and they definitely require some experience, even if they don't require money. But today's video is about how anyone can do this, so I need something different than that. What if I told you that there was a way to invest in real estate that took little to no time, no experience, and very little money? As in, not a 20% down payment, like $50,000 or $100,000. Today's video is the official release of something that I've been working on for years. I'm releasing my very first public fund. It's something that anyone can invest in, and no, you don't have $50,000 or $100,000 or $250,000 minimums. It has a $3,000 minimum. And the reason why I went with that number is because I used $3,300 to buy my very first house that over 4.5 years, I parlayed into 25 properties. What I'm doing with this fund is what I've done on my last several thousand deals. I'm gonna go out and do buy and hold on houses just like I do for me and my partners for the last 20 years. See, the thing is, I know how to find the best real estate in the top 5 markets out of 324 markets. So I know where to buy. I know how to find them, I know how to fix them up, and I know, more importantly, how to maximize the ROI. Because if you do real estate the way I do it, here's some of the benefits. Number one, real estate provides a hedge against inflation. And we know for the last 4 years, inflation has been really, really bad. What's beautiful about real estate and inflation is that while inflation is bad for your money, like $3,000 sitting in the bank, it devalues that. Real estate does the opposite. It actually is not just a hedge, but when inflation is bad, real estate values go up substantially. So your money starts performing very, very well. Number two, real estate is a great investment that anyone can use to diversify their portfolio. Everything you've done with 401ks and IRAs in the stock market, there's actually very little diversification because it's called the stock market. In other words, when the stock market goes down, everything goes down. But that's not necessarily true in the game of real estate if you play it my way. You see, home prices have been very steady, they've been very reliable, and I've been tracking for the last 65 years the cycle of how real estate moves in the market, and I buy in the places where it just more or less consistently continues to drive higher and higher and higher. And on top of that, you've got the tax benefits of real estate, as in every time you buy real estate, you create greater advantage for yourself. And finally, leverage. You see, when I put money in a real estate fund, I'm gonna go buy homes cash. But then I get to go and do these DSCR loans where I get to borrow up to 60% of the value of the home to go buy more homes cash. What it does is it introduces leverage, and what that leverage does is it actually brings up our return on investment, meaning you make more money on your investment. Bottom line, people ask me all the time, Kris, I want to partner with you, but I don't have $50,000 or $100,000. Like, what do I do? Well, there's never been an easier way to invest in real estate with me because of my brand new Kronos Real Estate Fund. It's called the Kronos Fund because Kronos in Greek mythology was the god of time. He was the most powerful of the titans. And what I do in real estate is I know how to collapse time on your retirement. So if you really want to financially get ahead, if you've always wanted to partner with me, it's never going to be easier. Click the link below and be one of the first to be introduced to the Kronos Fund. Real estate has never been easier. Anyone can do it, and now you can too. Click the link, let's go. Piqued your interest when I talked about creative financing, like the ability to buy real estate without any money. Like, Kris, is that real? Since I do it every day, I can tell you it's a 100% real. And if you want to learn more about creative financing, that's how people that start with nothing become multimillionaires. And if you want to get started on that journey, click right here, watch this video.